How many times have you said to yourself that you're gonna start that thing, whether it's working out or that new side hustle or the new project you want to work on, new healthy habits, but instead you just find yourself in another doom scroll, online shopping, drinking or doing drugs or whatever, binge watching Netflix, and you just, like, your life depends on it and you don't know what to do? Well, me too. I've been there. It's so frustrating because you want to do better. You want better for yourself. You don't want bad for yourself. You want good for yourself. So why, even when you know these habits are keeping you stuck, stopping them feels impossible? This has honestly been one of my biggest struggles, especially since quitting vaping and alcohol recently. I realized when I removed these habits how much I was actually relying on them to, like, get me through my day-to-day life, and how it was preventing me from actually excelling in life. So what these things were doing for me was giving me little tiny bursts of relief throughout the day, my little short-term gratification, little dopamine hit. I stopped, instead I would replace it with scrolling or binge eating or like whatever, just to give myself a little fix. I needed something. But I realized that wasn't going to sustain me long term. So what I learned is doing what's best for yourself is not about having more willpower. It's about understanding why we do the things we do and how it's affecting us, because then we can break free. It's not about willpower and discipline. It's about loving ourselves internally so we can break free from what's been holding us back. Like I said before, the reason we're addicted to short-term gratification is dopamine. Dopamine is that feel-good chemical in your brain that I'm sure you've heard a million times before, that like every time you eat something tasty or scroll or take a sip of your drink or vape or, you know, hit add to cart, whatever, your brain releases dopamine, reinforcing that behavior as a reward. So I knew all these things, but I was doing it anyways. So like I said, with vaping, I recently quit. I thought I was addicted to nicotine, but the truth is I was addicted to the instant relief it gave me. So why would I do anything else when I could do that? You know what I'm saying? So then when I realized what it was doing to me and I stopped, my brain was like, oh, hey, well, what else can I do now? And that's what really got me thinking about everything here. And I've done this with many other things, not just vaping, but I'll swap one bad habit for another and like trick myself and say it's better, but it's really not until you understand why you're doing it. And the more we rely on these quick little dopamine hits, the harder it is to move past it. Because things like working out and saving money and like building a new skill, those don't give you instant gratification. That's a long-term thing. You have to do a little bit at a time to get where you want to be. I'm sure a lot of people are asking, well, why would I want long-term gratification when I can do something quick? And well, that's because short-term gratification doesn't last. It's short-term. It comes and it goes. And your brain and your body is constantly going to be in an up and down, up and down, up and down cycle, which is so debilitating to be in. So a big wake-up call for me was when I realized how much time of my life I was actually wasting chasing these little dopamine hits. So like when I lose my vape, I would tear apart my apartment looking for this damn vape under the pillow, all the little hiding spots that I'd have. I would look in jackets and bags and pants that I haven't worn in weeks, just like, where is this vape? I need something. And then I'd be going crazy, like, why am I doing this? I should just keep doing what I'm doing. Or like, I knew this was wrong, but I literally could not focus on anything else until I found my vape, and then I hit it and I'd be fine. And then when I lose it again, I'd go absolutely crazy, and I just became a person I didn't recognize. At the time, it didn't seem like that big of a deal, but when I really thought about it, a few minutes here and there leads to like 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day, and that's 3.5 to 7 hours a week, literally just looking for something that was hurting me. And that's when my brain was like, what the hell? What? You're spending 3 to 7 hours a week doing this? we need to stop. Because over time, that's days of your life wasted. And vaping is just one example of this. Like, social media scrolling just 2 hours a day adds up to 728 hours a year. That's a month just spent watching other people's lives instead of building your own. And let's take impulse shopping, for example, or online shopping. You're scrolling, you're adding things to your cart, you're making yourself feel good. Even if you don't buy anything, you're killing time. And I'm not saying you're not allowed to ever do these things, but when you're doing it in a way that I was, it wasn't healthy. So I told myself that I was doing these things just for fun, but I was really just looking for some dopamine rush. So same thing with like mindless snacking and emotional eating. It's just giving you little dopamine hits. So when it really comes down to it, these small habits aren't really so small. They're stealing your time, your energy, and your potential for who you could be. And so the thing with dopamine is that you can't just quit dopamine. Your brain needs it. It's what makes you get out of bed in the morning and motivates you. The problem is where you're getting it from. If you relate to anything I've said earlier in this video, your brain is literally trained to crave instant, fast rewards instead of long-term fulfillment. And I feel like that's just life nowadays, like with online shopping and the internet. Like, things can be at your door in the morning and instantly. Our brain loves instant. So what we need to do is rewire your brain to get dopamine in ways that actually benefits you. And that's what I've been trying to do in my own life. And once I started doing that, everything changed. I stopped feeling restless, my focus improved, and I actually started enjoying the process of working towards my goal. So now I'm gonna talk about some healthy ways we can chase dopamine. So one thing that I've been doing recently is I've been doing more puzzles and arts and crafts. I love doing puzzles when I get in the groove. Every little time a puzzle piece like clicks into place, I get so happy and I see it coming together. And it gives me so much satisfaction that it motivates me to keep going. And it strengthens your brain too, and same with like arts and crafts and stuff. Turning the page of a book. Your brain loves learning. It's made to learn and take in information and loves progress. So when you're reading and you're turning a page of a book, your brain is being rewarded for being focused and strengthening your attention span instead of being mindlessly distracted. And honestly, I feel like sunlight is the best medicine there is. Natural sunlight boosts serotonin, and when you're indoors without sunlight, your dopamine levels can drop, making you feel very restless and unmotivated and anxious. But stepping outside, even for just a few minutes, can give you such a natural mood boost. And the thing that I do the most is whenever I'm craving nicotine or alcohol or anything, I will work out. I'll move my body, even if it's just stretching or 30 seconds, like jumping jacks or anything. Moving, your brain is relieving endorphins and dopamine. It makes you feel good. And the more you move and exercise, your brain sees exercise as something that's happy and that you enjoy instead of something that you dread and it's hard for you to do. So I told myself I'm going to be unstoppable. Every time I'm feeling agitated and craving something that I don't need or shouldn't have, I'm just gonna work out. And I have a tattoo on my back, and when I got my tattoo and I couldn't work out for a little while, I felt such a difference in my body. Other things you can do to increase dopamine in your brain is learning something new, journaling, creative hobbies, literally anything that just takes time to do, like seeing things come together as a whole. Like, I look back on my life and like the person I used to be and the person that I no longer wish to be and the person that I'm turning into. And that long-term success and fulfillment means so much more to me than any sort of short-term gratification. So you don't have to deprive yourself from feeling good. You just have to change what makes you feel good. And you're going to realize that these things are going to fulfill you way better than any sort of temporary high ever could. And if that sounds hard for you, I'm going to link a video down below that I made recently about how to build self-love through self-trust. I think that is a very good video that everyone should go watch. Next day, Jeanette here to finish this video. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is my #1 tip for breaking bad habits, and that is the 10-minute rule. So the next time you have an urge to do something or an impulse to either vape or scroll or snack or do something that you know you shouldn't be doing, ask yourself, is this gonna help my future self? And then wait 10 minutes and do something that's actually gonna benefit you in those 10 minutes. And commit yourself to actually following through with this. So for me, I have a whiteboard where I write down my to-do list, and so I'll look at what I have to do and I'll do something. And then if the 10 minutes passes and I still, let's say, want a snack, or I still want to scroll on Instagram or whatever, I can do that, but I have to wait in order to do it, because short-term sacrifices leads to long-term success. However, most of the time in those 10 minutes, the urge to do whatever bad habit I wanted to do usually passes, and I am so much happier with myself. And I don't beat myself up when it doesn't. So remember the feeling of finally seeing results in the gym, the pride of finishing a creative project, and the freedom of saving money and spending it on something that you really want instead of an impulse buy. All those things feel so much better than any quick fix or temporary high ever would. So if this video helped you, comment down below one bad habit you're trying to break and replace with long-term fulfillment. And like this video, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos if you want more self-help content. Bye!